Hello everyone. I'm just trying to send out this link to Twitter and Instagram to get more people in here. All right, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. This was a crazy game, honestly, and I'm really sad and disappointed that the Knicks lost because we were in a position to win this game. The Knicks lost 104 to 108. Boston up front. So much happened in this game. There's a lot to digest here. Between the first half, the second half, the starters, the bench, this was unbelievable. From the first half alone, you thought the Knicks were going to lose this game. We were definitely letting them slip away in the first half. They had a lead over 10 points. But the second half was a very different ball game. The Knicks were back in it. Their bench was alive. Manuel quickly was alive. So they came back and we were able to tie it. We were able to take a lead at one point, a very small lead, but we did take that. And unfortunately, we lost this game. It was a very, we missed a lot of free throws. Let's just start with that. 12 missed free throws. It's unbelievable. We already knew that this team struggled shooting free throws. If you watched last season, they were horrible from the free throw line. I believe it was around 76% we shot last year. And today we missed 12 free throws. Let's look at what that percentage is. So they were 14 for 26, which is 53%. As a team, we shot 53% from the free throw line. That is completely unacceptable. Are you kidding me? 12 missed free throws. We lost this game by 4 points, and we missed 12 free throws. I don't have to explain it. Those free throws really could have helped us. I always say that free throws are free points. They're the easiest shots that you can get out there. And the fact that we missed 12 when we shot 53% from the line, unacceptable. We're coming off of the offseason. These players, they had a chance to practice that and fix that in the offseason. Work on your free throws, reps after reps, every day work on that. And the fact that, it clearly shows that we didn't, it's unbelievable. The Celtics shot 84% from the free throw line, and we just couldn't hit any. Brunson was missing, Randall, everyone. I really think that free throws are a big reason why we lost this game. You have to hit your free throws, especially in crucial moments down the stretch. We saw Randall miss that one free throw with, under a minute left to go. That could have changed the ball game. You don't know. But besides that, there's some other things I want to talk about here. We can go through the team stats and we'll review them. So first, let's look at the field goal percentage. The Knicks shot 37%. The first half, our offense was struggling a lot. RJ Barrett was carrying our offense in that first half. He played great tonight. Overall, let's look at how many points he had overall. RJ Barrett had 36 points. Oh no, he played 36 minutes and had 24 points. And so he was 8 for 20 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and he shot 7 free throws, made 6 of them. RJ was completely carrying that first half with his drives to the basket. It was clear Randall and Brunson were having an off shooting night. None of them could get it going in that first half. So kudos to RJ for helping us, stay in the game in that first half, because we were only down by 5 at halftime, which was very surprising because if you're watching the game like me, you could have felt we were down by a lot more. It felt like the Knicks were making so many mistakes here and there. So it was so sloppy. But we were only down by 5 at halftime, and that was because of RJ. He helped a lot. And in that second half, the bench came alive. Manuel quickly. Overall, he had 24 points as well, same amount as RJ. He lit up, and I'm very happy that he did. Not to get into any of the trade, the extension talks or anything like that, but he's really showing this Knicks organization that they should have paid him. Look at what he did tonight. He really, we know he can do this. We saw it last year, especially against the Celtics. He always tends to have great games against the Celtics for some reason, but it was great. He, at his 15th minute in the ball game, he had 15 points at that time. So offensively, he's very gifted. I'm still surprised. I don't know why the Knicks didn't really extend him. I mean, maybe they just want to see out how this season plays out. But he's showing them from game 1 of 82 that they should have paid him. Let's see. We got some comments over here. What's up, Paul? This game. How are you feeling, Paul? I don't know how to feel right now. Jose said, what's up? Why are the Knicks inconsistent at home? I honestly, I made a video about it on my Instagram page, and I said that the Knicks have such a hard time executing down the stretch, and it's very true. Along with missing their free throws. I would say a main reason why we lost this game was the free throws. 12 missed free throws in a game we lost by 4 points. It adds up. But, last year we were a better team on the road, I believe. So this isn't new to us. We know the Knicks tend to struggle at home. Maybe the lights are too bright for them. It tends to be not bright for their opposing team, though. So, it is game 1. So my dad said it himself. He said it's game 1. They're figuring everything out. And what's there to figure out, though? Like, this is the same squad we ran with last year. We added one new piece, Dante DiVincenzo. By the way, he looked pretty good out there, more so in the second half. Active hands on defense. Would have liked to see more shots up, though, more three-pointers. But yeah, this is the same squad we ran with last year. The chemistry should be there. Nikita said, most definitely free throws cost us, but these refs were crazy. Yeah, that's another thing to point out. I kind of forgot it just in that moment, but these refs were awful. Do you guys remember the play where Jalen Brunson was called for a technical? They're doing technicals for flopping now. So he got called for a technical for flopping when Jason Tatum landed in his landing space. Brunson literally landed on his foot, but he got called for a technical. I really don't get it. That just didn't make sense at all to me. And why are these technical flopping calls so delayed? The Celtics already drove to the basket at that point, and they got fouled, and then they made that call for Brunson. I don't know. It was so strange. It's a new thing they're doing this year, but at the same time, if you're going to make these calls, get them right. Flopping, it is a big issue in the NBA, but that was clearly a foul on Tatum. So, I don't know. They have to review it or something. We had this game, too many missing free throws. Exactly. My dad said the same thing. It was the free throws. You can't miss 12 free throws and expect to win. That is way too many. We're really enjoying these post-game shows. Thank you, Mills. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Everyone that's here, keep commenting. I want to know how you guys feel. What are your thoughts on this game? It was a lot to digest, honestly. I'm still trying to process everything because I felt like this was only one game, but my heart right now, it's going crazy, and my body is just, it's not used to these Knicks games. You need to prepare your body for this. Oh, man. Nathaniel, I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. Rough loss tonight. Need Julius and Jalen to hoop better and make some smarter decisions with the rock. But RJ and Quick look really good. Yeah, Jalen and Julius did not have a good game tonight. Let's look at their percentages and what exactly they scored. Julius Randle had 14 points overall, was 5 for 22 from the field. Yikes. And was 3 for 8 from the 3-point line. Not to mention 1 for 5 from the free throws. So he accounted for 4 missed free throws. Come on, Randle. You got to be better than that. You're one of the veterans on this team, year 10, and you're missing 4 free throws. I get it. It's the first game. But we had all summer to work on this, to get your reps in. Free throws should be the easiest shot you take on that court. But yeah, it was an off night for him, shooting-wise. And Brunson was 6 for 21 from the field, so yeah, they combined for 11 made field goals. And he had 15 points. Brunson was 3 for 8 from the 3-point line as well. It was a little strange to see, honestly, that Brunson was missing those easy floaters that he always makes. Especially last season, we saw that. They would literally go in and out so many times. And, I think the shot is there. If your shot goes in and out, you're shooting it right. It's going in. He just has to get the touch again. That nice soft touch that he has on his floaters, because his floaters are deadly and they're killer. He usually makes them. Let's look at some more of these comments. New York fought. They just need to cash in freebies at the line. Exactly. It's going to be the talk of this game. You're going to see it on the headlines everywhere. It was free throws. Refs totally cheated us, Brandon said. Yeah, I agree. It was a combination of things. The poor shooting from our stars, the refs, the free throws. I agree that the refs cheated us, but we can't really use that as a big excuse when you miss 12 free throws. I agree that the refs had some horrible calls, but we could have won this game, even though the refs made those calls. Someone said, I can tell that RJ's decision-making and shot selection has definitely gotten better since going to FIBA. Definitely. I think playing for Canada in the FIBA World Cup has helped him tremendously. Maybe it helped with his basketball IQ. He looks like he's making better decisions, definitely. Let's see. Let's see if he had any turnovers. He had 2 turnovers. All right. This was a crazy sloppy game, but if he could limit those turnovers and make better passes, make better decisions, he is set for this year to have an all-star performance year and season. His driving ability to the basket, that's his strength, and he needs to keep doing that. I did think he hesitated on some shots. Well, obviously, when you have a 7-footer over you, you're going to hesitate. Porzingis, oh my God, Porzingis is a whole other topic, guys. Where do I even start with Porzingis? And Jew was horrible. He was horrible this game. That's what I can say, yeah. He was definitely horrible this game. People are going to excuse it. 5 for 22. It's the first game of the season. He had surgery in June. You can excuse it if you want, but it's game time. The NBA season is started. This is not preseason anymore. We have to take accountability for these type of things. He has to take accountability. So has to go to the paint. Yeah. If you're not shooting, get to the basket. Get those free throws. I'm saying that, but also he missed 4 free throws. So even when he was getting to the free throw line, he wasn't making them. It's just an awful night from him tonight. Christopher said, tough loss tonight, but they played hard. Randle needs to get traded, though. Oh, man. He just might. I don't know. There's a lot of trade discussions going on right now, especially with Embiid. I don't know if it's serious discussions, but, it's hard to excuse 5 for 22 from the field. Jose said, I think the Knicks can win 50-plus games this year. They have to be better at home. I agree. And I also agree. I agree with both parts of your statement. I think that the Knicks can win 50 games, and they have to be better at home. For some reason, they always tend to struggle at home. I don't know what it is, but they need to be better. They have the home court advantage. They have the crowd behind them, chanting for them, making it a little bit easier on them because, the crowd is trying to distract the opponents and they're trying to do their job as fans. But for some reason, we always tend to choke and just not execute down the stretch, especially at home. Christopher said free throws was horrible, but Randall held the ball too much. He had low basketball IQ. Randall looked good, though. Fairly solid. He didn't look good because 5 for 22 is not good. And he had a plus minus of negative 13. But, yeah, you said it. Free throws were horrible. Randall held the ball too much. I think he needs to get back into that mindset where if he's getting double teamed, he needs to make the right decision. I think there was a lot of double teaming tonight on him. And he I don't know if he's used to it. He's used to getting double teamed all the time, but maybe he's just, between the off season and now in his surgery, he needs to get back to that, making those quick decisions, those quick passes out to the 3-point line. A shooter, every time he got doubled, he would get stuck and it wasn't good. It either led to a turnover or him forcing a shot and getting blocked. It was not good. They actually looked scared of Boston. Porzingis killed us. Porzingis went off, guys. And it hurts me a little bit just to see that because, Porzingis was on the Knicks. There's history there. I personally was a big fan of Porzingis. I actually met him when he was here in New York. So it hurts to see him do that to us. He really went off and had a great game. He had 30 points overall, 8 for 15 from the field, 5 for 9 from the 3-point line, and he had 10. He was 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Great game by him. There were some Knicks fans that didn't want him back here because there was a little bit of rumors that he could come back this summer. Obviously not because he's with the Celtics, but this was before that. And I was one of those people that wanted him back. Look at what he did for Boston. Look at what he's doing. He stretches, he spaces the floor so well, and he's a center that can shoot. Look how helpful that is, to have a center that can shoot. No disrespect to Mitchell Robinson, but we need a little bit more from you. We need a little bit more of an offensive game. At least make your free throws. Let's see what else. That's really all I have to say about Porzingis, is that he had a great game. And he completely killed us. Hurt to see as a Knicks fan. He did get called for flopping, though. If anyone saw that technical that he got called for flopping, that made me laugh. I definitely expect us to see more of that this season. And also, he had, let's see, how many blocks did he had? 4 blocks. Why didn't we want this man back? I'm over here just thinking about it. 30 points, 4 blocks. How many rebounds did he have? 8 rebounds. Why didn't we want him back? I'm going to move on because it makes me upset thinking about it. Let's see. DiVincenzo is overrated. If I'm going to give anyone the benefit of the doubt tonight, it's going to be DiVincenzo. Just because he's our new guy. He hasn't played with this squad yet. not the entire roster. Obviously, he's played with Jalen Brunson before. He's played with Josh Hart, but he hasn't played with this entire group yet. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And although he didn't have, the best game and a spectacular performance, he was +5. And he had 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Let's see, any steals? No steals. And he didn't have any points. I thought he had some points up there. Okay, so I'm still gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He did go scoreless. He has to get back into that groove, back into rhythm. We know he's a shooter. Well, I know he's a shooter. If you don't know, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's out there for the defense, and he's out there to hit his threes. Would have liked to see him put up a few 3-pointers tonight, a few shots at least. He also is very underrated. He's a very underrated driver to the basket. I've seen a few highlights of his where he can drive very well to the basket. And we saw it tonight. He just couldn't get them in. There were so many touches by the Knicks, so many shots by the Knicks, like 1 foot, 2 feet from the basket, and they couldn't get it in. It frustrated me so much to watch that. So close to the basket. And none of them went in. I don't know what it was. For a second, I just thought there was something wrong with the hoop. It kept going in and out, or it would roll around and then it would come down. It was very frustrating to watch all those close shots not go in. Someone said Randall looked like he sprayed his hands with olive oil, couldn't hold the ball. No, that's so true. And it's just like, that's prime Randall right there. Oh my God. How many turnovers did he have? I need to check that, because every time he had the ball in his hand, it either resulted in a turnover or a miss or block shot. Surprisingly, he had 0 turnovers. How's that possible? It says he has 0 turnovers on ESPN. I don't know how that's possible, because I saw him turn over the ball a few times. Jose said, I was a big fan of KP until he wanted to get traded. Go kick rocks. Yeah. Everyone feels the same way about that. He wanted to get traded, so. But at the time, I was very young, so I didn't feel the disrespect back then. I was hurt, but I didn't feel the disrespect that, okay, he wanted to leave. And I'm mad at him like crazy now, but no. KP always cooks us. He always has a good game against us, but tonight he truly cooked. 30 points, 4 blocks, 8 rebounds. Literally, how many threes did he have? He had 5 threes. He was making everything, it felt like. Mills, seeing KP do what he did tonight, does it make you just think about how a shooting center could be a positive impact to our offense? Yeah, definitely. I tweeted about it. I said, look how helpful it is to have a center that can shoot the ball. And I don't just want to be disrespectful to Mitchell Robinson, because he's, one of the best defensive players on our team, and he's a big part of this team, but he can't shoot the ball. We see him taking threes in his practices and doing all of these kinds of shots, but realistically, he's not doing any of that in the game, and he's not making his free throws as well. The bare minimum I ask from him is to make his free throws. That's all I'm really asking from him, because I know he can't be the type of player to shoot in-game 3-pointers or mid-range shots. He's there for the alley-oops, the dunks, the tip-ins. But yeah, you're right. Having a center that can shoot, it changes your game style, your ball game, changes it completely. Their offense flowed so well. Christopher said, I wanted Porzingis back too. He left because of Phil Jackson. Yeah, there was a lot of rumors circulating back then. I'm not even really sure what happened, because he had that whole allegation that came out, and then it's also rumored that his brother was just persuading him to leave and do crazy things. I don't know. So a lot of stuff happened back then. I want a five that is like Miles Turner. I want a five that's like Porzingis. I'm just gonna say that. Like looking at what he just did to us, that's what I want. I'm not gonna overreact. Eric said I'm not gonna overreact, but I feel like it was a tale of two halves. Played in moments, didn't back down. We gotta respond. Yeah, I might be overreacting throughout this whole post game, but it's just my raw feelings and my that's just how I feel. Um, I don't want to overreact because it really is just game one, but it still counts. This isn't preseason anymore. It counts towards our record. Um, every game matters, and we could have won this game. We literally had the lead with like a minute left to go, or a little bit more than a minute. We were up by 2, and even up by more uh, before that. We let this one slip away because of free throws, because of those refs calls at the end, which we don't really have control over. Um, and it sucks. But every game matters to me, so like I tend to overreact and get a little upset, especially the free throws thing, because we saw it last season how badly they shot, and you would expect them to want to work on that and to want to get better, and they come out game 1 missing 12. Awful. We got to respond like you said. Eric also said Mitch didn't even have a chance to block tonight. He was pulled to the perimeter all night. That matchup is horrible for him. Yeah, agreed. Um, because look at that. With Porzingis being such a great perimeter shooter, Mitch is out there guarding him, and he's not in the paint anymore to block all those shots that are coming in. Everyone on the Celtics that are driving, he's not there to protect the paint. So, that's what having a center that can shoot does for your playing style. It really spaces the floor well. The matchup was horrible. Long story short, if we hit our free throws and Randall stays on the bench, we would have won the game. Yeah, we could have won this game. It was not out of our reach. From the first half, you wouldn't have thought we could win this game, but we came back. We took the lead. We had momentum, and we let it slip away. It happened really quick, honestly, because I was telling my dad, like, at the point where the Knicks were up by 4 points, and then something happened. I think Boston scored. We're now up by only 2. That's a 1-possession game, and it was all within like that 2 minutes of the last quarter. So it happened really quick, where the Celtics just tied the game, and then they got the lead, and that was it. I like that quick Dante, RJ, Hart, and the lineup. Yeah, I like that lineup as well. Um, there was one three that completely made the Garden go crazy. It was when Dante passed it to Hart, and then he made that. I like that they can, they're very similar players, but when they play together, I think they could play off of each other really well. And, I'd love to see more passes and more plays like that. It would be ideal to have a center that could shoot threes, but those guys get drafted in the top 3. Not many of them are around. Yeah, but it's true because we literally saw number 1 draft pick, Victor. He is a prime example of a center. Oh, he's not a center, but, a very tall player that could shoot threes. But there's more and more of them around the league. They're developing their game. They're developing to shoot threes. You even see, Hardenstein could shoot the 3 as well. I don't think he took any threes tonight. Let's see. Let's check. Hardenstein. He didn't take any threes tonight. But if you watched him in Los Angeles, when he played for the Clippers, he took a lot of threes there. Well, not a lot, but he could be a 3-point shooter. So it'll be interesting to see how he implements that back into his game, because I think the Knicks do want him to take more threes, and that would be helpful. We saw what a center that can shoot does for your playing style, for your game. It spaces the floor very well. Christopher said it's game one, but it counts especially when it's a team from our division. Yeah, it does count. This is a matchup that we are going to be seeing throughout the season, and we should have won, because we had this game in our hands to the point where we could have won. I don't have to say it again. I don't have to go through it, but we had the lead with like a minute left to go, and things just fell out of place. But they are one of the best teams in the East. They're projected to be either number 1 or number 2. They have a crazy lineup. They have Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Tatum. And you have like guys like Derek White, Al Horford on there still. So they have a crazy squad. Eric said, do you think players have the number on Brunson? Holiday is a great defender, but I've seen their whole team not falling for his gimmicks. Yeah, I mean, a big part of why Brunson was struggling so much tonight was because of who was defending him. Holiday is a great defender, one of the best in this league. So you have to expect that he's going to defend very hard on whoever he's playing against. But we've also seen Brunson score against good defenders before last season, and we've seen Brunson be able to, just be a scorer and be better despite having a great defender on him. If I'm not mistaken, Brunson had a good game against Drew Holiday last season. I don't know how much he put up, but I don't know if I could pull it up now, but he did have a good game against him last season and put up quite a big number. But I think Brunson, I'm not concerned about Brunson because all of his shots were literally in and out. They were right there. They say, like, if you're a shooter, if your shots are hitting the rim, you're good, as far as shooting wise, they're supposed to be going in. You're just not getting that touch yet. So I said earlier, he needs to find that soft touch again with the season starting. He'll get back into that rhythm. He'll get into that groove again. I'm not too worried about him because we saw what he could do last year. I hope that he continues to do that, and if not, be better than that. Derek White was really good today. Yeah. I want to check how many steals he had because it seemed like every time he was out there stealing the ball. He had 2 steals. Derek White had 2 steals, and yeah, he was great. He's a great defensive player as well. So to have that combo of Drew Holiday and Derek White out there, it's scary. It really stopped our offense in the first half. They have a really good defensive lineup, honestly, because you have Derek White, Drew Holiday, 2 great defenders, and then you have Porzingis, a great defender as well, underrated defender. He had 4 blocks tonight. He's out there protecting the paint. A lot of our shots got blocked tonight. It was crazy to see. Even Mitchell Robinson's getting blocked out there by Porzingis. And so Eric said, what's your opinion on the offense today? The offense struggled in the first half. If Brunson and Julius Randle aren't playing good, I don't expect the offense to flourish and to thrive because those are our 2 main scorers. But RJ picked it up really well. Despite Brunson and Randle not playing well, he picked it up for them, and he was the reason we were only down by 5 at halftime. So I'm really proud of RJ, because there's been a lot of discussions about him over the summer. I don't know if any of you guys have seen just Knicks Twitter in general. Just goes crazy for RJ and always says some type of stuff regarding him. But I'm really proud of the way he played tonight. I hope he can continue to play like that and to keep it up. I love to see more of his mid-range game as well. We saw a little sidestep in one of those plays, which was really nice. I think he could do more of that. A little step back, because we already know he could drive to the basket. That's his strength right there. We know he could do that. So I'd love to see more mid-range shots from him, and get to the free throw line more. Let's see how many times he got to the free throw line tonight. So he got to the free throw line 7 times. So that's pretty good. But in preseason we saw him get to the free throw line a lot. One game he got there 9 times. He was 9 for 9. Another time he attempted 12 free throws. So I think if he could find that range from maybe like 8 to 10 free throws attempted per night, I think that could really help him take that offensive leap. Because that would get him to the line more points for him, and it would just help him. It would help the team. Dante will become good, I believe. Not too worried, in my opinion. We'll give him time. Yeah, exactly. I'm not too worried about Dante as well, because I said this is, if anyone that we're going to cut some slack tonight, it should be him. He's the new guy, and he's getting used to playing with everyone else. He's getting used to Tibbs' playing style and everything. So, he didn't score at all. He was 0 for 4 from the field and 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Not too many attempts. He only attempted 3-pointers, but he is a 3-point shooter. So I'd expect more 3-pointer attempts from him. Quickly is him. Man, I'm so mad we lost this game because of Quickly's performance. It was so well. It was so good that I just wish we could celebrate that right now. If we won this game, everyone on Twitter would be like, everyone on Twitter is still going to be saying, pay him. But that would be the talk of the night. Pay Quickly. Look what he did for us. He would have won us the game with the way he helped us climb back in that second half. Eric said he deserves that 100 million easily. I wanted them to find, some middle ground. Maybe if not even 100 million, just, somewhere close to that at least. I'm honestly really surprised they didn't. He played really well for us last season, a key part of our bench. So he does deserve an extension. Hopefully at the end of this season, if he gets any offers from anywhere else, the Knicks can match that and offer him more, because I don't want him leaving. Look how talented he is. Why would you want someone like that leaving? Quickly was great tonight. Let's go back to some team stats over here. I do have a separate tab open. I'm just looking some of the stats over here from the game. Oh, I'll answer one more question. Eric said, do you think it was more on Quickly's camp? Wait it out. I think that they do want the 100 million, and the Knicks just didn't want to give it to him. Quickly, I'm pretty sure Quickly's confident in what he deserves. His agents are, as he should be. He should be confident in getting that $100 million contract, because look at how he plays. That's starter money, but he plays like a starter. He's with that closing group. We just saw him, close out the game. Look what he did in that second half. So let's look at some stats right here. Man, I'm just going to think about it all night how winnable this game was. It's just one game, but it was still in our hands, and we could have won it. Oh, also, I just feel like it was very sloppy play in the first half, at least, and a lot of turnovers, which I said before the game that if there's one thing the Knicks have to do for to play against the Celtics is they have to limit the turnovers. Look what happened when they turned over the ball a few times and then suddenly they were down 10. A lead can build up really quickly when you turn the ball over multiple times. So we need to make smarter decisions out there, smarter passes. I don't understand why they're forcing the pass so much sometimes, especially Randall, and even Brunson tonight. We saw him force a lot of passes or just make bad passes that led to turnovers. So fast break points, Celtics had 18 fast break points. Knicks only had 7. You saw it after a turnover, after a steal, the Celtics were going down the lane. They were fast. Um, just gonna look at some more stats. Let me see if I can put it on my screen actually. So I'll take a little bit of a break and see if I can put some of these stats on the screen so you guys can see it as well. I don't know how well you guys can see these stats right here. I think it should be pretty clear. But, we could look at it and go through it together. I already mentioned most of the stats here already. Knicks shot 37% from the field. Celtics shot 48%. I'm not surprised we shot 37. We clearly struggled in the first half, but it got better in the second half. From the three-point line, the Knicks shot 43%. Oh, I'm actually surprised the Celtics only shot 30% because it seemed like they were hitting a lot of three-pointers. Well, I mean, KP was lighting it up at least. But I'm glad we shot 43% from 3 because we struggle from the three-point line most days. And free throws, we already went through it. I don't have to say it again. 12 missed free throws. You don't have to explain that. 12 missed free throws says everything. It explains itself. Let's see what else we got. The rebounds were pretty even between both teams. The Knicks did get more offensive rebounds, though. See, the thing is, the Knicks were getting a lot of offensive rebounds, but they were never able to capitalize off of that because there were so many times you would see Mitchell Robinson or Hardenstein get the rebound, and then they would try to put it back up and they'd get blocked, or I don't know, something else would happen. So they were getting those boards, but they were having a hard time putting it back in. Assists, the Knicks had more assists. Surprisingly, they were sharing the ball more. These stats at the end, blocks, steals. We had 0 blocks. That's a little crazy because Mitchell Robinson will usually have a few each night. The fact that we had 0 blocks kind of explains our defense tonight. No one was protecting the paint. That's what happens when you have centers that are 3-point shooters, that are perimeter shooters. You had Porzingis, who was out there on the 3-point line. He brought Mitch out there, so Mitch is not in the paint to protect. And then you have their backups like Luke Cornett and Al Horford, also perimeter shooters. They can shoot the 3. So they're out there as well. They're bringing everyone out there. It really spaces the floor well. Total turnovers, the Knicks had 11 and the Celtics had 13. I'm really surprised we don't have more turnovers for some reason. It just felt like we were a bit more sloppy. It was a sloppy game in general. And fast break points, I mentioned that already. The Knicks only had 7. The Knicks definitely need to improve on their fast break points because if you notice it, their fast break playing style is so, I don't even know the word. It's they don't know what to do when they're on a fast break. They're not making smart passes when they're driving to the basket. I mean, if I could pull up the examples, I would, but it's a little frustrating to watch. We're not a good fast break team. Let's see if we have any more comments here. Brandon said, I'm honestly so upset we lost. This game was ours. Exactly. If we had lost by 20 points, I'd be upset, but it'd be different because, the game was never in our hands. We never had the chance to be up or to take this game away, but we had the chance to win this game. That's why it's so frustrating as a fan to watch it unfold like how it did. We were so close. So I'm going to look at the box score. I mean, I pretty much went through it already. I went through mostly everyone. Randall had a off night. Robinson, 2 points. He struggled tonight because this matchup against KP, it's not easy. It's not easy for him because of the way KP plays. And he only had 6 rebounds. That's crazy. He'll usually get a lot more. Jalen Brunson, again, I mentioned he struggled offensively. I went through his numbers, 6 for 21. But he only took 1 free throw. See, that's not like the Jalen Brunson we're used to. He's usually really good at drawing contact and getting to the free throw line, so it's a little surprising to see him only attempt 1 free throw. He didn't get to the free throw line once. I mean, because I'm pretty sure the 1 free throw he shot was from a technical. So he didn't draw a foul once this game. RJ Barrett, we mentioned, great game. Led this team. Put the team on his back in that first half. 24 points, 8 for 20 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 7 free throws. Well, 6 made. But, I mean, he had 3 rebounds and 2 assists and 1 steal. Great game by him. Grimes had 11 points. He was 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. A good game by him as well. That mainly came in the second half, though. Someone said the Knicks getting cooked by a former Knick for L is the most Knicks thing ever. No, because that's so true. The talk of the night is how Porzingis torched us. And of course, he has to be a former Knick. Of course, there has to be history there. And blah, blah, blah. So much drama regarding that. I mean, did you see him throughout the game? It looked like he was having so much fun, though. He was doing a little, towards the crowd, and he was smiling. At one point, I even heard the Garden chant. I'm not even sure if this is true. Did they chant F Porzingis? Because if so, that is so wild. But that is so New York. That is so Knicks fans right there for if they chanted F Porzingis. I heard it in the game. I think it was the third or fourth quarter. Might have been the fourth. I've never heard something like that. If anyone got that on video, you got to post it on Twitter or something so I can see. Brandon said Brunson was getting fouled. They just weren't calling stuff for us. Yeah. He definitely was getting fouled because he's usually at the free throw line so much. And the fact that he didn't draw one foul tonight definitely says something about these refs. But I would say that in that second half, we did get a lot more calls, which was super helpful. Celtics were getting called for fouls left and right. It seemed like every possession they were fouling us. And the flopping call on him was outrageous. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you heard, but that flopping call, it pissed me off so much because he literally got fouled on that play. They played it back on TV, and he landed on Tatum's foot. That's a foul on Tatum. He's in his landing space. How is that even, first of all, how is that not called a foul on Tatum? And then it gets called a flopping call on Brunson? What? I know it's a new thing that they're implementing into the game, a flopping technical, but they need to get it right because that pissed me off watching that. Clearly, that was wrong. Brandon said, what got me upset was the challenge we lost, quick jump straight up and down, and they called a foul on him. They were calling total BS. Yeah, I remember that play. I literally said it as that happened. He went straight up. So the fact that that was called a foul and they challenged it. But it's hard to win challenges on fouls like that because even if the refs don't see direct contact, they'll still call it because you're making contact with the player, but there's no evidence of crazy contact there. But 90% of the time, they're still gonna call that a foul, even if he went straight up, which is really aggravating and frustrating to see as a fan. And I'm sure it's more frustrating for him as a player to have that happen. You go straight up in a game, you expect that to be good enough defense to be, for that to be a stop right there. But of course they gave him the call, and it was a late call as well. There was so much of that in the second half, especially that fourth quarter. A lot of fouls back and forth. Mason said, I'm so sick to my stomach. But we will bounce back on Friday, blaming this loss on missed free throws and Brunson Randall having poor game. But both of them will bounce back. Yeah, you couldn't have said it perfectly. This game, it's simple. We lost this because of the 12 missed free throws and our star players not playing well. With Brunson and Randall not playing well, it's hard to win a game. Those are our two main guys. They score the most points per game. So if they're both struggling offensively, that's a real challenge for the rest of the team to pick up on that and to win this game. But, they were very close. RJ picked up on it the first half. IQ picked up the second half. And we were leading So we could have had a chance to win this game. It would have been an amazing effort by the Knicks team if we did. Oh, let me show this one first. Um, LV Live said, Mills, great show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone that is tuning in. Even if you're tuning in on the replay, thank you for watching so much because, I am still new to this YouTube Live. So, most of my shows, they might be a little crazy or whatever, but I'm still getting used to it. So I appreciate any support that I get and anyone that is commenting your thoughts on the game. It helps, create the flow of the show. I love to hear your thoughts and I love to hear what you guys have to think as well. It's like we're having conversation. So yeah, keep commenting, keep telling me what you thought. The late calls were outrageous. Yeah, they really were. When I watch this game again, when I look at the replay, I'm going to get even more frustrated because the refs and the calls are what frustrate me the most. Just because, like, it should have been called the other way. It shouldn't have been called as a fan. You see it right in front of your eyes. And when the calls don't go your way, it's very frustrating. They were waiting to see if they missed to blow their whistles. I know that's what a lot of refs do. You'll see it. If a player misses their shot, then you hear the whistle. But they are the Celtics, so we have to expect that there's going to be a little bit of bias towards them with the refs. You have Tatum, Porzingis, and Brown, who are great players, so they're going to get that respect and they're going to get those calls from the refs. It is 11 p.m. right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap up this post game. I've almost been live for an hour. It doesn't even feel that long, but I guess I've been talking about the Knicks for an hour. Let's look at the next game. We are playing on Friday against the Hawks. So it's at 7:30 p.m. While we're in Atlanta. For a second, I thought we were in MSG, but this will be in Atlanta for everyone who's listening. Can't wait to see that matchup, honestly. Another game where there's history. Why did they do this to the Knicks? The first game, we play against a former Knick, and he completely torches us. And watch us go play the Hawks, and Trae Young torches us again. And it's just like a repeat of history. Why are they doing this to us? But I take the Knicks on that game. The Knicks will beat the Hawks. We have to, every game counts. That's what I'm going to say. Every game counts. They have to play their hardest and they have to bounce back from this win. It'll be in their heads. And I hope that when I'm not going to say when they get home because let's just say tomorrow, they better be practicing their free throws. They have to shoot I don't know, Thibodeau, what does he do during practice? Are they practicing their free throws? 12 missed free throws? And it's not even like this is new. We saw this happen last year. He needs to make them practice their free throws. But yeah, we play Friday, 7:30 p.m. I'll see you guys there. Hopefully it's a win this time because I don't want to be upset in the post game. I don't want to be talking this upset and being this frustrated. So I look forward to seeing you guys tuning in this Friday. Hopefully you guys can tune in if you're able to. I'll be live on YouTube again, and maybe you'll see it on Twitter as well. I believe if you have Twitter, it does show up on Twitter on the Big Nick Energy Twitter account. But yeah, also if you guys aren't subscribed already, please subscribe. We're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We'd really appreciate if we could hit that milestone. And if you want to follow me personally, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but mainly on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, I'm mill.media, and Twitter, it's millsportsmedia. So yeah, those are my usernames if you want to go ahead and give me a follow if you aren't already. Thank you so much for tuning into this post game. I'll see you guys Friday.